I read comic books casually like most kids did in the 70s. I was a big fan of Spider-Man, a big fan of the Fantastic Four. I just never had met anyone who was anything like the black characters who existed in comics. Blacks in comics for many years were drawn as subhuman. The Spirit, which is a relatively realistically drawn comic. Ebony White could have been a gremlin. I'm not sure a modern reader would understand that he was human. You just got into the habit of looking past that so you could have entertainment. When I was a kid, I stumbled across a comic book called Jungle Action, a comic that featured the Black Panther. I had an epiphany. I was just fascinated with that comic. Looking back, it was this powerful sense of validation I saw, seeing myself reflected in the media as a hero. I think that really lit the fire that later became Milestone Comics. Milestone was a bunch of guys who liked comics, who had had a certain level of success in the mainstream, but we wanted to make our own thing and control it and have total say over it. My own inclination was to create comics that were more contemporary. That meant all kinds of people, not just black people. I didn't want to become the black version of my criticism of mainstream comics. One of the major things I was trying to accomplish was reproduce that feeling of belonging in a younger generation of readers.
When I go to San Diego and I see white kids dressed as Static or white kids dressed as clearly John Stewart, Green Lantern, I'm like, we're really getting somewhere, because this is a guy who is going to be less inclined to make assumptions about who somebody is based on the color of their skin. You know, so that's a win. I like to write all kinds of different stuff. I've been really fortunate to work with the best guys. I'm very proud to have been part of it.
Hello, I'm Phil LaMarr, and it is my honor and privilege and joy to be hosting the 9th annual Dwayne McDuffie Award for Diversity in Comics. It is such a pleasure to be part of the legacy of Dwayne McDuffie, because back in the old days, I got to work closely with Dwayne on the animated series based on his milestone comic, Static Shock, where I played the voice of Virgil Hawkins, the hero known as Static.
The name's Static. I'll put a shock to your system.
And thankfully, I also got to work with Dwayne on the animated series Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, where I played John Stewart, Green Lantern of Sector 2814. Beware my power. Green Lantern's light. Now, the DMADs, the Dwayne McDuffie Award for Diversity in Comics, that's our acronym, DMAD. The DMADs have had 9 years of outstanding competitors, books of the highest quality, created by or about diverse casts of people that challenge as well as entertain. Our winners and nominees are always at the top of my own personal reading list, and I encourage you to seek them out too. Not just to support underrepresented creators, which is awesome, thank you, but because our selection committee of highly respected judges in the comic book business decided that these are all exceptionally good reads, following in the giant footsteps of Dwayne's own outstanding and inclusive work. But not only was Dwayne's the coolest action, adventure, and even comedy around in animation and comics, there were always serious thematic undertones tackling heavier subject matter that Dwayne never shied away from, like social injustices, unnecessary violence, and yes, even love. And it was such genius to be able to put that into the worlds of cartoons and comics. Dwayne also always stood for both diversity and excellence, and taught us, showed us, how diversity fed excellence. Our DMAD nominees are the very best examples out there today representing his dream. And the finalists for the 9th Dwayne McDuffie Award for Diversity in Comics are Tales of the Orishas, written and illustrated by Hugo Canuto. Queenie, Godmother of Harlem, co-created and illustrated by Elizabeth Colomba and co-created and written by Aure Levy. Aya Claws Come Out, written by Marguerite Abouet and illustrated by Ment Oubrerie. Gleam, written and illustrated by Freddie Carrasco. Mosley, written by Rob Guillory and illustrated by Sam Lotfi. The Wild Ones, written by Megan Lacera and illustrated by Jorge Lacera. And the winner of the 2023 Dwayne McDuffie Award for Diversity in Comics is Aya Claws Come Out, written by Marguerite Abouet and illustrated by Ment Oubrerie. The winners would like to thank the selection committee of the DMAD and Charlotte McDuffie for being chosen for this prestigious award. Congratulations to the award winners. And thank you to the director of the DMADs, Will J. Watkins, as well as thanks to Dwayne's widow, Charlotte Fullerton McDuffie. Thank you both for keeping this going. I'd also like to give a special thanks to our finalists, and I encourage you to read all 6 books, each of which embodies the motto of the DMADs. In Dwayne's own words, from invisible to inevitable. To all you other creators out there, please submit your own work next year. You might just be the next winner of the Dwayne McDuffie Award for Diversity in Comics.